Alrighty, so we're halfway back. Halfway back.
2/3.
I've got Matt, who I'm podcasting with this morning.
Hello,
and then
friends.
I'll
Hello,
have,
Justin.
Jaypea. Hello, Matt. Later this evening, as the two have different schedules. So this is a two-parter. Next week we'll be whole again.
Yeah, I'm just hanging out with you, and we couldn't think of anything better to do. I mean, you listeners deserve our opinion.
Absolutely.
And we need to bring it to you. So.
We actually had a couple of you, on our Facebook page asking when we were coming back. So we're back
That's
for
so
what is
nice.
possibly the biggest Walking Dead episode of all time.
Oh, that's what we're talking about.
Yes,
so we're
that's
talking
what
about that now.
Minus probably the ending of the show.
How about when we first saw each other a couple of hours ago, we were fighting to not talk about any of it. We're like, no, I don't want to talk. Well, I will say, no, I don't want to say it. No.
So full of emotions, and I want to start, and then I'll let you go and say
your
please,
piece with yes.
But what I'm going to say is, okay, the episode itself was a phenomenal episode.
Phenomenal.
It was the
really
acting was incredible. Andrew Lincoln and Jeffrey Dean Morgan both were just hands down amazing. Andrew Lincoln has such a great way of acting with his face. You don't have to hear words. You can just look at him. When he was having the flashbacks of them dying, you felt it. You felt everything that he was feeling.
Oh, yeah.
But my biggest issue with it is the cat was out of the bag like months ago, which I know that's a petty argument, and some folks are going to be like, well, Justin, and remember, people, these are our opinions. There's no reason to get angry or, we're here to discuss a
Which
show
some of you will
like.
anyway, but whatever. But we don't want you to.
Opinions. An opinion typically can't be right or wrong. It's someone's belief in something. So,
no, man, screw you. It's my opinion, and it's right.
Because with that said, we'll get into it after Matt says his piece, but I am on the Daryl Dixon needs to die train now.
Yeah, you've been saying that all morning. I've never
hardcore.
Heard you dislike a person right now as much as you dislike Daryl Dixon.
Oh, so hardcore. And I understand the emotion. I get it. It was an emotional moment, blah, 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 blah. But we'll discuss that in a bit. But yes, very sore with Daryl right now. But, I like the episode. It's like I am disappointed because, and I try not to read spoiling sites. I mean, sometimes you can't help it. It's like death predictions, and you're like, oh, cool, I want to see people make their predictions. Maybe they have thought of it a way that I haven't, and then you go to it, and it's like, well, the Spoiling Dead says, and you're like, no, I didn't want to hear that. So, but they had been saying that these were going to be, and of course, spoilers, people. I don't know why you would have clicked this if you
Yeah, we've given you. I think we've given you plenty of. We still have not said who died.
So in the end, 3, 2, 1, Glenn and Abraham have been who everyone has said.
Us.
And it was done amazingly. I mean, it was, my heart was in my stomach. I mean, it was done perfectly, but I just hate that I knew it. I thought that Matt and I had discussed plenty of times before the premiere, like that we thought they might have been putting that info out themselves just to trick us.
Yeah, kind of a misdirection kind of thing.
So, amazing episode. Well done across the board. A little disappointed that I knew it was going to happen beforehand. Matt, it's your turn.
Man, I don't. And it's like we had talked about this last week about how a great theory that you had would be if, Abraham gets it. Because I think it was pretty much unanimous across the board. A lot of people, 90-some% of people were saying it was going to be Abraham.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the second death was what people had, were really guessing about. Mm-hmm. And you had the theory that it could have been Maggie.
Right.
And that would have been amazing. Like to see that side of like the cold, heartless Glenn, because we've already seen like the scared Glenn. We've seen the high and mighty. He's strong. He's happy. He's powerful. He's happy with what he's got.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the next logical step in that would have been the cold-hearted, like he has nothing left in this world. He has nothing left to lose. He just becomes a maniac. Yeah. I would like to have seen that character in Glenn. Mm-hmm. But it's like you've said countless times. We've already seen Maggie's character. We've seen her story arc. We've seen her lose so much and then become a strong, independent woman.
Right.
So it's like, are we just going to keep seeing that again? Like how much stronger? Right. I know she can get stronger, but it's like we've seen that arc. But I feel like there was more to Glenn's story. I still am maintaining the theory that he's still hiding under the bat.
Right,
so I'm fairly certain he's hiding under the bat. I put that on my friend's Facebook today, and I was like, he's under the bat, right?
Don't worry, guys. Glenn found the nearest dumpster. And
thank God. That would be really awesome if like everybody was just looking at those pictures where they're all lined up, and there would have been a random dumpster placed in that picture.
Creators,
make and then
one.
Give the dumpster a number, and then
that is hilarious.
Have Negan go over there and beat the crap out of the dumpster with Lucille. That would have been great.
Excellent. This is for thank you.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I agree. And the theory I had was, and I know I'm a comic book reader. I've read the series for a while now, and I get it every month. Which, by the way, if you don't read the comic, you really should, because it's like South Park. It just continues to get better.
Right. And I would tell some people, I mean, if you've never read the comic, then go back and read it, but
absolutely.
don't get ahead of the series, because I've noticed a lot of people who are fans of the comic, that's the first thing that they have qualms with, is that the show is going so far from the comics in certain areas, and people compare it to the comics, when if you've never read those issues, and you see that episode for the first time, it's fresh in your mind, and you're not comparing it to the comic book, you're comparing it to its own thing. So you get kind of, and the comic is leaps and bounds better than the show.
Oh yeah.
And that's what everybody says. So I'd wait until the show's up to catch up to where the show is in the comic books. You got 100 issues to go through, which is pretty much where the point they are right now.
Yep.
So read those, 100. You can go out and buy the big, thick compendiums, and all those.
Yep.
So read that, but don't get ahead of the show yet, because it'll make you mad.
I
It'll
like
just
it
make
when
you
they
angry.
vary, because as a comic reader, I know it's probably half and half. Half the folks are like, no, it had to be Glenn. It was so iconic, and I understand that completely, because I'm that way with some stuff.
And
too,
they got
but,
the imaging perfect.
Oh my god,
like his face and his eye popping out. Oh, it was So I'll agree with that, but I didn't like sitting on it the whole summer.
Right. No,
it would have been better. And I get why they had to do it, because the whole him beating Abraham and then Daryl coming at him and then Glenn paying the price for that. Right. It was all one big scene. I get that. So they couldn't have necessarily killed Abraham and then gone into, because it was, it had to be seamless.
Yeah.
So I get that, but I just didn't like the whole summer being on a cliffhanger, and that's all everybody could talk about. And then everybody talks about it too much and builds it up, and then when it happens, you're like, oh, well, I saw that coming.
Right. And we've seen Glenn die before, which I then, it was just as shocking and brutal. And my God, him saying, "I'll find you."
Oh my God, he handled that so well.
My inner teenage girl almost wept. I mean, it was beautifully terrible, if that makes any sense. I mean, it sucked, but my theory was, I really am waiting for them just to surprise us, because when Beth died, I called that. I went into the mid-series finale, which I believe is what that was, knowing Beth was going to die. It wasn't and I hadn't read spoilers. It's like, oh, I thought that was common knowledge. We all knew Beth was going to die tonight. And then some people were surprised. I was hoping, and I had told Matt, perhaps what would happen is Daryl intervenes, with Abraham, or maybe even Glenn does it, and then, he pulls the gun that he had stashed from Carl out, points it at Glenn, and thinks for a second, and you think, oh, so they are going to kill Glenn, but then just real quickly kind of grins and turns and shoots Maggie as a way to tell Glenn, don't F with me. I don't want to kill you. I want to kill the things you love type deal. And I just thought that would have been a cool twist.
Oh, yeah. But I get the imagery that they're doing with Lucille, with this bat, man, just like the blood all over it, the guts. And I see now how the blood got on Rick. He just slung it, which that's what it looks like. Yeah. And I would love to have been that person that was off camera with a paintbrush or a toothbrush and just go like that. just what's his name? Andrew Lincoln just being so pissed every 5 takes.
Yeah. I'll tell you, man, the acting again, Jeffrey Dean Morgan so far is an awesome Negan. He's freaking awesome. I went back and watched the death scene again this morning, and it's like you're terrified, but you're also giggling at Negan because he's just like a spoiled school kid.
Yeah, I don't want to like him. I mean, I like the actor who's playing him, and I like what he's doing with it. I don't want to like this character at all, but man, I'm loving it.
He's making it impossible.
It is. I haven't had a villain in a show in a while that's like, man, he is awesome, but at the same time, he is a piece of shit.
Yeah, and you kind of got that with Negan.
Yep.
I feel that there were several times though in that RV where Rick could have made his move.
Well, when he came back in,
yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, I get it when he was like, "Do it, grab it." He's waiting for. Yeah, that was quick draw.
Right. And when he went out the door, I don't think Negan had the gun. He just had his baseball bat. I mean, I would think
he had that M16 or whatever that sucker was.
But I think
man,
he had set it down right before Rick.
Right, that's not a gun you can just carry around nonchalantly.
I feel like he had a couple of opportunities. No shit, right? That was Eugene's.
It's because he's so small. And he fits in the jacket. The jacket's a lot bigger, so he can fit all those crazy guns down. He's going to pull a bazooka out of his jacket in one episode.
That's been my only complaint. And other than that, Jeffrey Dean Morgan's perfect. I just wish they would have beefed him up a little bit for the role. Because Negan, you even see from the digital, animated, the Walking Dead app game that I used to play.
He's a big dude.
Negan's he's intimidating. He's just big, but
I get it because his personality is big.
Right.
So it's like his personality is taking place of his form.
His big
but he's playing it, man. He plays it big.
Oh, he does.
You look at him, he's like this skinny little mofo, man. Pop him in the mouth, but yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah,
he's
and then
awesome.
he pops your jaw with the
Abraham.
It was really sad to see him go. I like the peace sign he gave Sasha.
That was nice. That was really
nice.
And he oh my god,
my nuts,
dude. That was a fitting final line for his character. I couldn't think of Abraham going out any other way than saying "suck my nuts."
And
it's awesome.
It was so fitting for him. Like I said, the episode was great. If I didn't know, and the script leaked a while back, and I read a little bit of it because I was thinking there's no way that this big show, the biggest show on television, can't keep their scripts under wraps. They need to go through their staff and fire.
Well, it's like you were saying this morning. If Game of Thrones can do it, if Breaking Bad did it, then why can't Walking Dead do it?
Because Game of Thrones, some folks can say, well, they're putting pieces together, and they knew that they knew Jon Snow was spoiler alert. They knew Jon Snow was Targaryen the whole time, right? Because Game of Thrones wants you to piece this together. They give very well planned foreshadowing throughout the show. Like they want you to start figuring out these things. It's not like they're figuring it out from leaks or from leaked scripts or from poor, plot points. Like Game of Thrones wants you to put these things together. They give you clues all throughout the show. With The Walking Dead, most people picked Abraham and Glenn solely because it was like, they were only on episode 1.
Yeah.
I wish they had a way to cover that up. And the Spoiling Dead, I'm not going to insult them because they are good at what they do. But I try to stay away from them because I don't want to watch the show if I already know it's going to happen.
Right.
Why I said I don't mind them veering off from the comics some because
and it's bad enough you already know what's going to happen in the comics, so you're looking for them to change it up a little bit.
Like Denise, when the arrow hit her in the eye, it's like right. I'd say probably about 3 or 4 seconds before it actually happened. I was just like, oh God, she's about to get the arrow. But up to that point, I had no idea that was going to happen, and I loved it. It sucked for Denise, but
no, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, if you don't listen to the podcast regularly, Matt could not stand Denise.
Yeah,
but when it happened, I was like, oh, that is so cool. Like it was unexpected, and I just and I don't hate Daryl. Like last night, I did. Oh my God, my dad had to go because I was watching. I watch it every Sunday.
That's
with my
why you
family.
told me you're never going to watch it with your family again.
My dad's like, you do know this is a show, right? I'm like, I want Daryl dead. Like when Daryl jumped up and punched Negan, I was like, you just killed Glenn. You just put the nail in the coffin. You killed Glenn.
And I am looking forward to, like I said earlier, I'm looking forward to the dynamic between him and Maggie now because Maggie's going to have
some resentment.
Yeah, absolutely. And Daryl's going to have resentment about himself. Everybody, I think there's going to come a point when everybody's going to have some sort of conversation with him, or he's going to do another. I got to go away from the group because I betrayed y'all and this is my fault, so I got to go find myself.
I feel like his character has run its course, and he's only still around because of the fans.
Yeah.
Which I understand. You write this for the fans, but at some point, write a story and just tell the fans, look, I know it's best. I know you're going to hate that you're going to lose Daryl, but it's going to work good for the storytelling. But I don't know. There's lots of characters who have had to sit sideline who could have been much like Tyrese. I really do like his character, but he was nothing like he could have been had Rick not had Daryl as his right hand man.
He's
Abraham could have gotten,
And then I read something, the guy playing Heath is doing something big.
Oh yeah, he got a starring role
and something big. And I can't. And it's something big. It's like a remake or a reboot. It's something that he's doing, and I can't remember what it is.
So you can pretty much make that he's probably going to be gone. And I hate that it's getting that predictable. Yeah. Social media really kind of
but then I don't know. You can easily step around that because again, you can make speculations all day long.
I thought they were going to release fake stuff. Like if I was the Walking
that would have been
Dead,
smart.
I would start leaking BS audio and BS video. Like I would have had. Leaked that, I don't know, Sasha and Eugene were going to get killed, and had that been the big thought all summer. So then when it is Abraham
But they shot themselves in the foot by saying it's going to affect the group. Like this death is going to be detrimental to the group, and it's going to change the course of the show. And there's only a handful of people that could have died to change the course of the show.
Oh, yeah.
So they gave out the wrong information. Like they kept trying to hide everything, but they gave out too much information at the beginning to appease people. And it's like you wouldn't have to do that if you would just film it and write it correctly.
Right.
If you did it great. And it's man, I just like you said, I'm just so many emotions going on.
I'm haunted by Glenn's. Abraham's was brutal,
man.
It was awesome. I loved Michael Cutlets, or however you say his name.
Michael Cutlet.
How do you say it? Cutlets.
Which one are we talking
about?
about?
The guy that plays Abraham.
It's like something like that.
I loved him as Abraham. I thought he was freaking awesome, and I really liked Abraham, and I was really looking forward to possibly seeing a world with Abraham and Negan. But then you realize it's not possible.
Yeah,
Abraham's not
going
to submit. Yeah. He's going because just like when the guy that had the gun to him, and was like no questions, he
And you notice he was kneeling a lot taller than everyone else.
Yeah, everyone
like he was
hunched,
up in
he was
attention.
standing.
Man,
He was
that's his
ready
military.
for it.
Yeah,
He was ready to take it for the team. He died a man. He took it. I mean, took a blow, and it's just crazy how. Which actually, it took 2 blows. I was thinking originally the one shot is
right. But he said that in the final episode. He was like,
but he hit him twice.
Yeah.
He actually hit him, then went down. He hit him again. And
then he hit him about 18 more times.
That Glenn one is haunting. His body was like shaking.
Oh my God, that was amazing, dude. And when he said when he told Maggie, "I'll find you," you think that was a threat?
No.
I'll find you.
If you cheat on me,
I'll find you. My ghost will haunt
you.
the
Better
shit
not
out of
do
you.
Daryl. This is his fault.
Especially not while the baby's in there.
No, I agree with what Lauren Cohen said. She said she thinks it was just, I'll find you, like in this life or the next.
Yeah.
I thought, honestly, it was because his brain just got rattled. So remember, they got split up earlier, in the show, and he's like, I'll find you.
That's good, too.
I thought it was just like, screwed up. But I like it much better as I'll find you,
But yeah, the imagery of that, it was compared to the comic, it was like shot for shot. Some of the scenes in the comic was just like,
Greg Nicotero and the special effects team on The Walking Dead are like second to none. I mean, they are spot on. It's crazy.
We were talking last week about awards that they've won, and they've won Emmys for best makeup and stuff. Like the past couple years, they haven't won anything, but there was a string there, 20,000, like 11 to 14 or something,
right,
where they won like every year in a row.
It was so bad. I almost lost it with the I'll find you, and I don't cry. My girlfriend and I have been together for almost 3 years, and she's never seen me cry. I almost teared up with the I'll find you, and then I almost teared up with that freaking incredibly sad what could have been.
Oh yeah,
sequence, man, with Abraham and Glenn sitting.
Flash forward / alternate universe.
You didn't see Rick sitting there, so I'm guessing it was from his view. But it was looking down. Oh, my God, that was so haunting. Glenn with the baby on his lap and Abraham right there. Oh, my God.
It was definitely not a good, because I fell asleep before the show came on, so I watched it this morning on the AMC app at like 5 o'clock this morning.
Fresh on it.
Dude, and that was a terrible way to start the morning, too. Like, why would I do that?
My whole, morning / night was just ruined.
Like, it's still dark outside. I'm sitting there at the kitchen table, like, my roommates are asleep, and it's just quiet in the house, and I'm watching this on my phone, and I'm just sitting there like, oh, this is a shitty way to start the day.
It's a testament to how good the show is when you get that upset over stuff.
Yeah.
I really and I don't want Daryl to die. I mean, I do. Last night, I wanted him to. I was like a mafia boss last night. I'm like, I want him dead. I want his family dead. I want him dead. I want him dead. Bring him to me.
You hear me? Dead.
But, further, I mean, it's emotional. I get it. You just watched, one of your friends get his head beat to death with a baseball bat. And I've never been one that's too great at controlling my temper. So I can understand just losing yourself in something as traumatic as that.
Which I wonder if they did that to kind of to die down or to bring down the fan love for him. Like all the crazy fans that love him, and now it's like, well, you don't really have a good excuse to love him right now because
he got Glenn killed.
He just got Glenn killed. So
right.
Maybe that's why they're doing that. I don't know. But did you read? I read an interview Robert Kirkman had like last week saying that the end game of The Walking Dead is that everybody dies.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like he came forward.
He said Rick Grimes is going to die. He said he's going to kill Negan when he runs out of ideas for him. Which Negan actually was only supposed to make it like 5 issues. But folks loved him so much.
Leads me, I wonder how long they're going to keep him on the TV show for.
I'll tell you right now, just judging by the comics and the way things are rolling, I mean, they could kill him off, or they could, they really could go either way with it because they've got new villains, so they can, it's. And a lot of people thinking they might bring the Whisperers in it now because one of the promo photos was a head on a stake that said "You've been warned" or something to that effect. I don't want to misquote it.
And I think next episode is Ezekiel. Yeah, we'll be in the next episode.
I saw the sneak peek. It shows Morgan pushing Carol through, and he's like, "Oh, this place is called the Kingdom," and she's like, "The Kingdom," and he's like, "Yeah," and she's like, and he says something about him, and she's like, "Who's he?" And he's like, "The guy that runs this place," and she's like, "Does he have a name?" And Morgan just kind of ignores it. He's like, and she's like, "Does he have a name?" And he's like, well, he calls himself King Ezekiel, and I like
the king part is very important
because the comic they were like, okay, this guy's loony, but they just accepted it. In real life, you'd be like, why do you call this the Kingdom?
Right.
They question it in the comics, but in real life, I'm glad they did that, not just like, oh, we're at the Kingdom, hello, King Ezekiel. You'd be like, did we bounce back in time here? Like, what is wrong?
I think so. My favorite. We've talked a lot about the beginning and the deaths and all that, but I think my favorite part of the episode was definitely Rick kind of have to prove himself to Negan, I guess, or earn his keep or whatever you would call it or whatever. But Negan on the RV shooting at the zombies. Just when you think, obviously Rick's not gonna die or anything, especially after we just saw the 2 deaths.
Yeah.
But it was really cool just watch him go nuts with like a hatchet.
Yeah.
And especially the neck slip, like they always do gruesome stuff that's so cool. Like of course hanging from a decomposed body.
And I was going to say, you see how that circles around, which he probably couldn't have, but you remember Aaron was going to try to shoot the chain.
Yep.
And drop that guy down. Now imagine what would have happened because Rick told him, no, we need the bullets. Now imagine if Rick would have let him do it and say it was successful and that body failed. That might have been the end of old Rick
That's a
Grimes.
butterfly effect, man. If he would have shot that chain down, then maybe Glenn and Abraham wouldn't be dead right now.
Yeah, it might be a whole
just
different
chained
thing.
onto like everybody lives happily ever. Negan comes in and
say,
says, y'all got any supplies
Negan
I can
comes
borrow?
out with drinks instead of a bat. He's like, I call this one Lucille because she's spicy. And
oh, that's
this
good.
One right here is my cocktail.
That's
I call
good.
it, whatever. And
cocktail.
Like,
he would laugh about that, yeah.
I want to make a business proposition.
That's
Not
really
so much
good.
as I'm forcing you.
Oh, can we go to that universe?
Who knows how it would have turned out.
And I did enjoy watching the baseball bat hit a lot of people. Just imagining it's just like a foam rubber
that
bat.
Right there, that's probably, they said they filmed everyone's
Yeah, and that's why
that's
I was
probably it.
As I was watching, I was like, oh, so they went ahead and just used all those clips.
Because they showed Rosita first without much, explanation.
They showed Maggie,
what?
Carl.
And then I was like, no way. And I was like,
Eugene,
obviously
all
they
of them.
won't. But it's like, spoiler or plot twist here. You come back and he literally killed everyone while they were gone.
That would have been great.
But Andrew Lincoln, again, my God. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is killing it. But my God, the acting, goes bowing, I'm not worthy, goes to Andrew Lincoln.
By and far, I'm looking forward to seeing scenes with them too.
Because you've had characters die, and Rick's just kind of like, looks sad. And he's like, kind of puts his hands, but he doesn't. It doesn't. I don't know how to explain it. It's like you knew he was sad, but he's used to death at this point, so it's not like it rattled him. This one actually made him look just rattled. He's laying on their RV, and especially Glenn.
He looks
Glenn
lost.
Started
man.
with Glenn.
Yep.
Glenn saved him when he probably was going to die, and it's like so this one I think hit him a whole lot harder. Which is I see the necessity for Glenn's death to maybe shape Rick, because Rick has kind of gotten to this badass kill anybody that looks at me funny, and there's no going back. So this might be what they need to mold him a little bit.
I mean, it's definitely going to change the course of the show. I just don't know if for the better.
I miss Mr. Ree already.
Oh, I don't want to talk about
Mr. Ree.
We've
Almost
talked
said
about it a
Mr.
lot.
Ree already.
He's still alive, man.
Yeah,
it's going to be 4 episodes. He's going to crawl out from under the dumpster.
It's like the alternate version is Negan beats the dumpster, and then after everyone clears out,
that would be in that
crawls out the bottom, and he's like, Maggie?
That would be the alternate universe. He'd be like, I've got a proposition. They'd be like, no, we're good. And then he would just get angry and beat the crap out of the dumpster because he's just a passive-aggressive guy.
It's like, bring him up. And it's like they're wheeling the dumpster up.
If anybody moves, cut the other wheel off.
Cut the wheel off and feed it to
itself.
And then we'll start.
There you go. And feed it to the trash compactor. Because I imagine a dumpster's father would be a trash compactor.
Man, that would be freaking brutal. But so let's see. I mean, we've covered most of the episode.
I mean, that was the big thing that happened. That was like literally
Rosita the bat.
Oh,
Look
man.
At it. Look at it. That was just so convenient and kind of like, I wonder if Sasha was thinking, I'm glad that's not me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he could have
both
just
of them
easily
looked upset.
showed it. Oh, they both were torn up.
Like they looked like they lost
poor
someone.
Rosita,
That was great.
Poor Rosita. Not only did her man leave her for someone, you got to remember how close her and Sasha and the whole group are. They were on the road together for that long time, just them eating dogs and shit. And now, then one of the girls that was in her group took her man, which to Sasha's credit, she did it tastefully. She wasn't an ass about it. But now, after you lost him, you just lost him again.
Yeah.
And now the guy's waving the blood of your form. I mean, that's rough. Poor Rosita. I watched the video, and I'm not going to call out any names because I try to, do nothing but promote. But there's another YouTuber that does, Walking Dead speculation. And most of his stuff is pretty good. But he said one thing that I was like, dude, come on. Showing the promo photos, and he's like, I'm almost seeing that's like a look of seduction in Rosita's eyes. I'm like, bro, no way.
Okay.
And now after this, I hope, like I said, everything he does is pretty good. But I'm hoping now he's looking back going, oh, no, that's not seduction. Rosita is devastated. I mean,
who is she trying to seduce? The bat?
Oh, my God. I love the way you beat him. He cheated on me, by the way, so I'm available.
She does like strong men.
She does.
That's really, wouldn't that have been funny? That scene could have gone completely different if she was the only one with a sexy look in her
parody
eyes.
of the show.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Thank you, because he cheated on me. You know what? You see the girl over there? She goes by Sasha. Take her out too.
That bitch, she's right over there.
She said you're a wuss.
The laughing dead. That's we already got it.
Then after that, then she gives him the look of seduction. She's like, I'm single now.
Oh, that's great. We're going to have a live studio audience, or at least a laugh track or something.
We got to have laugh tracks. Most of them from like the 50s and 60s.
We'll have like special guest stars that'll come on.
Scooby-Doo laugh tracks.
There we go.
And
that's
sound
good.
effects.
Oh, from like the Scooby-Doo movies? I know what you're talking about. I had arguments when I was really young. They had something called the new Scooby-Doo show or whatever. But it was from like the 60s, and it was an hour-long show, and it was an animated thing. And I was like 10 years old. My friends are like, no, that's new. It says new. And I was like, yeah, it was new in the 70s.
Right.
These are the same friends that said it's pronounced Hanna-Barbera, not Hanna-Barbera. Yeah, the face that you just made, that's what I made when they said that. We were there. We were in King's Dominion when they said this. I'm taking you way back. I'll never forget this because it was my two friends and their mother, and then me and my sister and my mom. And of course, when you're young, if you have a question, we didn't have Google or smartphones at the time, so you went to the nearest adult because they know everything.
Absolutely.
So of course, idiot me goes to my mom and is like, Mom, they're saying it's Hanna-Barbera. Isn't it Hanna-Barbera? And she's like, I think it's Hanna-Barbera. And I was like, Mom, I'm living in a world of idiots. I don't know what to do.
Me, mother.
I don't know. And God bless her. I love her. God bless her soul. May she rest in peace. But man, if I would have known how unknowledgeable she was about cartoon companies, that whole incident would have went completely
different. Mothers, they just have a lot more to be knowledgeable about.
Right. And this was like 20 years ago. So I guarantee you those friends don't even think about that. But I'm going to next time I see them, I'm just be like,
it's
what? You're a bunch of a-holes, and it's Hanna-Barbera. Like, what are you talking about?
If
like, how are your kids?
Listening, I hope you now feel educated.
I hope you do, because I'm passionate. I'll never forget that, man. Like, that was one of those defining. You know how everyone has a point in their life, like, you lose your virginity or you see a dead body for the first time or something like that.
Sometimes on the same night.
Oh man! Oh, I hope those two are not closely related. Oh man. Whew, Rosita would be really turned on by that idea.
Oh yeah, Rosita.
Oh man.
But so that I will have the third leg of our podcast, JP, in studio.
Yeah, he would have if you called him a third leg, I'm pretty sure there's a sexual joke in there with him somewhere.
And you'll probably hear it. Hopefully he's not listening. He hasn't seen the episode yet. We thought about bringing him in and
does he know who died?
No.
Oh man, he's getting a text from me in about 5 minutes.
You should text him and go, dude, just wait until he kills Carl. Oh my God, he would just be like,
"That's what I'm gonna get."
He predicted.
Oh, I wish I had my phone with me. I'd do it right now and wait for his reaction.
Don't let him know I've talked to you. Just be like, so what did you think when I'm waiting for me and Justin are about the podcast, man?
All right, hold that thought. Talk to him for 30 seconds. I'm grabbing my phone. I got to do this.
So he's gonna text that, and we're gonna see what he says.
Where is it? I can't find it. I got it.
You got it?
I got it.
He's got his phone, so you're gonna text. Now, if you don't listen to our podcast regularly, JP is our third guy, and actually, we recently brought on another Matt. That I don't know, maybe joining us this evening.
We're going to have to figure out a different name for him. I don't like that.
We'll all be back together and one next Monday. So now you're getting a part 1 and a part 2. And
right, I'm texting him.
I'm going to give JP's response to that in the next podcast.
Does his number begin with 804 or 434?
I've
got two JPs for some. Okay, I got it.
Because I can guarantee you
I should have given out the whole number.
Now.
I really wish I would have given out the whole number.
Text
Man, we're getting ready to start.
Well,
how do you feel about Carl dying?
There you go.
Oh, I'm going to let next time I talk to you guys, I'm going to let you know his reaction. Or when he talks tonight.
Tonight we're going to let him know. So you be listening for the next podcast so you can hear what he said.
I'm really excited. I miss all of you. Like, I'm so glad to be back. It's been a long summer.
It has. It's been a long, boring, sad summer without you guys.
I mean, a couple of new things.
I went to the beach a couple times.
You
made some
did.
Good memories.
I'm working with you now. That's exciting.
Matt works with me at the radio
station. So we get to see each other many hours for the day. It's great. We talk more about other stuff than we do actually work stuff. That's nice.
It's cool. It's great. So we will see you. Matt will be joined with JP, and everyone will be whole next Monday. We promise.
Oh, thank God.
And we're going to do a Doctor Strange review.
Don't let Justin know about our hole. JP about our hole.
I won't let him know.
I'm making the sexual jokes for him. Like, I'm going to hold off on the racist jokes, but the sexual jokes I have no problem.
Not sexual.
Right.
Without
him. Exactly. So. We need his third leg in our hole.
Well, I enjoyed it, and I got to tell you, I just don't know how I'm going to get through the work day. I've got someone that's got to come in and interview at the radio station later, and I just don't know how it's going to work. So, once again, my name is Justin.
Hey, I'm Matt, the good Matt, the other Matt. Don't tell Matt Crowder I said that, but I'm the good Matt.
And we will catch you. I'll see you later on today. Matt, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, I will.